This looks like a good time for an update. You can see by the thumbnail the motor is out of the car. I've been quiet for a little while. Not much going on, especially with the car, just out driving it, enjoying it. Car's been running really good, and one thing that happened is the train started slipping again. And I've built it once, and then I had it rebuilt a second time, and it lasted a year, and it was perfect, and we did all kinds of stuff to it. But I'm hard on it, and the 2.3 gets a flare. It's pretty common for these trains. There's fixes for it, but they're not roads that I wanted to travel down, like dual feed in the third gear and stuff like that. I haven't done that. Maybe I should, especially since I've decided, as you can see, to pull the motor out of the car. Now, this motor has 60,000 miles on it. 4 years of my ownership. I'd say 3 out of the 4 years have been at 25 to 28 pounds of boost. A lot. Probably 30 gallons of methanol through this motor a year. I have quite a few empty cans of methanol around here just from the last year that I've been in this house, in this garage. So it definitely sees its share of fun. Now, this motor coming out of this car is not hurt. Oil pressure is perfect. Turbo doesn't smoke. Heads don't smoke. No tapping, no knocking, no nothing. This is just a perfect example of a factory sealed motor that took everything I could possibly throw at it for the last 4 years and never gave me a lick of trouble. But I have some plans for it. You can see in a previous video I had a set of heads. They came back. They're champion irons. I had all new valves and valve guides and valve job done and resurfacing. So those are all good to go. I got T&D shaft rockers. I got cams push rods, which I'm probably going to replace. I have a ported CNC matching intake for the champion heads. I have a polished aluminum fabricated Mies plenum, which is 3-inch, with a matching AccuFab 3-inch throttle body that's going to go on there. But I do have brand new, not brand new, but I have H&R poly motor mounts. And I've been sitting on those for a while, so it's time to put those on. I'm not going to do anything with the bottom end. I do have a cam for it. I have a full throttle cam, hydraulic roller, so that's going in. And I'm going to do a Rollmaster timing set in here. That's probably something that, who knows, maybe I'm losing horsepower with an old worn out timing chain, stretched out timing chain in this. So I'm excited to put all this stuff in this motor and see if the motor just performs a whole lot better. Heads, intake, 3-inch plenum, 3-inch throttle body. I'm leaving everything else the same. That is getting a cam. And the one thing I'm thinking about buying for this that I don't already have is a set of those Cruz headers, because these cast ones, I think I might have a crack on the driver's side, or I'm sorry, on the passenger side. I think so, I'm not sure, but I think I might have a crack. But the car is also so quiet, and sometimes I can't even hear it performing when I need to hear it. I don't know what's going on because I can't hear the car. So I'm thinking about putting those headers on there, and I'm hoping not to snowball into, you know, an external wastegate and a new downpipe, and then I'll 4-bolt flange, and then I'm going to get a whole new turbo. And I'm trying my best not to let that happen because the motor just ran perfect. So stay tuned. I'm going to start breaking this thing down. And if anything is interesting while that's happening, I'll post it. Here's a quick fast forward on the motor. This is where I am now. I stripped the whole thing down bare. I degreased it and degreased it and degreased it some more with engine parts degreaser and 2+2 and WD-40 and everything you could think of to clean and scrub this thing with wire brushes, and got it down to the bare motor, bare short block. The rotating assembly is still in it, and I'm going to keep it in there. I really wish I could do pistons and crank and rods and all this other stuff. I just don't really have the budget for it right now, so I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. It had great compression, didn't smoke, had no problems with it. You can see one of those pistons on the left side there is nice and clean and shiny. And I spent, I don't know, quite a while to get it to look like that. So this is what they look like before you clean them. It is a 35-year-old motor. It's full of carbon deposit and buildup. A lot of heat gets in these cylinders. My goal is to, unfortunately, spend a lot of time and make them all look like that one there. That's just a lot of WD-40 and parts cleaner and a Scotch-Brite pad and some elbow grease. But I think the motor will run a lot better once I get the pistons cleaned off. and get all that carbon deposit buildup out of there, which, you know, can be a contributor to detonation and things like that. So that's got to go. As far as like the plans on this thing, I think I'm going to clean up the oil pan, put that back on. I'm going to put my camshaft in there. We're going to get all new gaskets and paint the block and put my Champion CNC ported heads on it, my intake, and build it up from there. I really didn't even have any plans to document any of this, but I'm starting to think that maybe putting this motor back together, if there's interest, I'll document all the, you know, head gasket install, the timing cover, the cam install, the rest of the pistons getting cleaned up and stuff like that. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy.